Welcome, ladies and gents, to the Roast of Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's the alternative to Star Trek and beyond.
Yo! Sometimes we like to take comedic jabs at people we love. Sometimes we love making notes about every kind of petty person. And sometimes we roast people who others don't have the guts to do such a feat for. And if you think this roast is gonna suck, you can just go home and rethink your life.
I heard Star Wars fans, if you don't have a life, you don't have much to think about.
Go watch Star Trek.
So we have the Phantom of the Lame Paradise, James Bruno, on here.
How's it going, folks? Nice to be here. I could be at home playing canasta, but I don't know how to play canasta, so they dragged me here.
It's the pinnacle to Star Wars'.
Yeah. The only good riff is one that's dead on arrival. Cliff Stevenson is here.
Oh, nice. Representing Predator Minute.
Yep, and Gonzo Minute.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yep,
Good,
absolutely.
bad. He's the one with the riffs. Gil Palmer is present.
Hello, everyone. I could be watching Star Trek right now.
For real.
He'll make fun of anything as long as it's not Casablanca. Mike Ensing returns.
Yay! Quick observation: first Star Wars movie, except for the opening battle and the Death Star sequence at the end, stormtroopers miss every time.
Yeah, every time. It's a guarantee.
I think they were told not to shoot the main cast.
Maybe they should try shooting at the red shirts.
That was Order 69, I think.
Oh, 69.
And although there's no visual here, for those of us that can see, Mike actually has the movie playing in the background.
Yes, he does.
So it's a real Roger Ebert sort of setup here. I'm loving it.
It's a beauty.
I'm surprised it's not the Christmas special.
Oh, we'll get to
I
that.
can dig it out somewhere.
He likes you, but still wants to eat you alive. Proudly resents founder Adam Spiegelman.
Hey, what's going on? I just wanted to Cam loves Star Wars so much that he has a Star Trek screensaver up.
Yes, I had to.
You know that's the wrong series. You know that, right?
It is? No! Okay, right.
Kind of hard to tell. Yeah.
The biggest fan of Exorcist 2, Tom, is back.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to expose the crappy remake of the sci-fi classic Battle Beyond the Stars that they call Star Wars.
Yeah, man, those fucking ripoffs.
I thought it was Last Fortress, but all right.
Oh!
Black hole.
I thought it was Crawl.
Oh!
Ooh, Kroll. You went there early.
He had to go there. He had to go there. He likes you. That's why he's going to riff you last. Oreo is present.
Mm-hmm. Always here.
Always here.
Ready to burn some
Oh, that's
shit.
creepy. You're always here? Wow. Attica. Sam from the Outer Rills is here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. And I'm your host, Sully. Just let me finish. But so we'll circle around. We'll do all kinds of riffs. You have the freedom to applaud or boo. It doesn't matter. Just do something related.
Yeah. So this is how democracy dies.
Yes.
Muted applause.
No. If it sucks, you can boo.
I was saying boo earns, but all right.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, we got plenty of notes. We got plenty of other things. So since Mike is feeling lucky, I will let him go first.
Oh, okay. I wrote a bunch of notes, but I'm not going to say all of them. 3PO is basically an exposition robot. He pretty much describes what's happening. Oh, Chewbacca! Chewbacca's here. Throughout all 3 movies. Or all the movies, I guess. He basically explains to the audience who's who and what's what.
He's Mr. Magoo's interpreter.
I guess it's not a slam. It is kind of, but
He's like the accessibility app on your iPhone when you accidentally turn it on and it tells you you are hitting a number. You are hitting a number.
I am not a number. I'm a free man.
I also noticed Leia's donut hairstyle gets echoed in 6-1, whatever, with Lando's assistant with the earpiece with the lights on it.
Lobot.
Yeah.
Lobot.
Yeah. Well, that's his name?
Lobot.
Yep.
Steve
Lobot.
Lobot.
Everybody has a name.
Steve.
So I'll just get one riff in. Why is the holiday special the only untampered and unedited entry in this whole franchise?
Because it sucks so bad, even George Lucas didn't want to touch it.
Oh, okay.
You could make the argument that almost none of them were edited.
Are you kidding? I mean, you got B. Arthur, you got Art Carney, and you got
Jefferson
Harvey
Starship.
Korman.
Harvey Korman.
Yeah,
Perfect for Star Wars.
Here's the thing. The thing about it, why it hasn't been edited or touched in any way is because it's been frozen in carbonite.
Oh.
The cast is a who's who of who cares.
Yep.
They're so old they shot it at the hospice.
But don't
What about
forget
Diane Carroll? Come on now.
Diane Carroll. But don't forget, Adam. Once again, why did Liam Neeson have to save all the Jews but doom all the Jedi?
Oh,
Because he had sex. That's why.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
He needed the booty to get through to do the duty.
Oh.
It's Qui-Gon Jingler's list.
Oh,
The porno version.
that is the
Nah.
porno version, totally.
It wouldn't surprise me the reason they haven't messed with it, because it never got mastered like all the other stuff either. And Disney are just looking for the short track to ruin everything. And it's a lot of work to go back to like an SR tape and pull it and do everything. Everything else is like free for all for them because it's already digital, right? They can do whatever the hell they want. But
They
that
fuck
one's
around
like
and find out.
Hey, where else are you going to see Roland Smith saying fighting the Frizzies news at 11? You know.
Totally. All right, man. I'll let Sam go. I think he's feeling lucky. You got a riff.
I would say that I think the Disney era Star Wars is just like the worst DLC that you could get for any kind of product. Because it's like it's got some different skins, but there's just nothing in there at all. And it's like, oh, these are new characters, but they're not. Like Snoke was built up to be the biggest of all time, and then like what happened is like nothing. He was like kind of like Steven Seagal in Executive Decision. He's on the poster. It's a 2-head, and he gets blown out the airlock in the first 5 minutes. It's like, what is the purpose of it?
Yeah, that is kind of true. It's like
It's the horse armor of the movies, I guess.
It's to make us really appreciate the time that John Bon Jovi got sucked over the rail and in the perfect storm.
I was getting worried about where that sentence was going.
Yeah,
He's in the perfect storm. I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's
I think
in
he got
the
pushed.
actually, yeah.
he is now.
He's either in that or in the sequel to John Carpenter's Vampires.
Hey, yeah, that's true.
I forgot about that movie.
He was
So
on.
did
Speaking of
everyone.
vampires, he sucks.
Oh,
Hey, there you go.
I saw him in some movie. He played a bigger part, and I can't remember what the movie was. But
well, he
Maker K-19.
What
did.
was
Believe it or not, he did work on the holiday special
Yeah.
as a sound mixer.
Bon Jovi.
Yes, as a
Yeah.
sound mixer.
Oh,
God.
His
Really?
uncle worked at the sound company, so it all comes around. Damn it, Bon Jovi.
Wow. His
Yeah,
hair.
this
I
point
think his
they
hair
real-
was Chewie's cousin.
I
This
mean,
one we
Okay.
realized the Star Wars holiday special sucked even worse.
Yeah.
you know, if you squint, he's pretty hairy. So yeah.
It's the only thing I never know to defy physics where it sucked and blew at the same time.
Well, I mean,
Oh!
who doesn't want to watch a horny old carpet lust after someone on TV?
And then wonder where the hole's at.
And by the way, the Wookiee Hole Planet did not have Nair.
Oh,
But I bet you that they have plenty of hair in the shower drains. Just saying.
Mhm.
oh,
She-
It's good
she
to
a
get
plumbing?
that there.
Speaking of the hair, that was actually mentioned in Solo: A Star Wars Story Expanded Edition audiobook.
an audiobook
Wow.
fixed a plot hole.
Yeah, because Chewie he took a shower in the Falcon, and Lando got mad because the drain got clogged.
It really did take more than they could chew.
Mhm.
Oh,
Or
hey.
Chewy, as the case may be.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get sued by the dog company, Chewy. You're like, what the hell?
No, we're not.
No,
Get the
Thanks, bud.
sponsorship.
That's easy. We'll just throw them a bone.
Oh,
Hey, there you go.
all right. James is getting quiet, which means he's dying for attention. I'm gonna let you roast, buddy.
Well, how can I say this? But you know, as much as I love Star Wars, there are some low points that even I go, "Why the fuck did you do that?"
Exactly.
Okay. Case in point, number one, the goddamn scene in the remake of Return of the Jedi, the musical number.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
the hell thought
Jedi
that up?
rocks.
Jedi rocks,
Rick McCallum saying they do a little duet. Who gives a shit if they do a little duet? I don't want that. I want to have it where it's still Jabba's palace. I don't want to have Singing in the Rain. I don't want. If I wanted Gene Kelly, I'd get a Gene Kelly movie. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the original is Lofty Neck, I think, and then Jedi Rocks is the
first
one.
off, let me give you some applause.
Okay. Wait. Hold on.
That weird zoom in on the weirdly sexualized freak alien. Very strange.
Like we needed sexy alien.
At least it wasn't the weird camera cuts for with a little help from my friends by Joe Cocker back in '69.
And I'll go back to '69. Man,
I don't get those weird camera cuts. Irritated the hell out of me. It's like, stop flashing so much. I don't want epilepsy.
This is more of a broader thing. Someone said, why has it never been edited? And I made the joke.
Wait, you're talking about the Beat Club gig, that show Beat Club they had in Germany. That's what it was.
No, not the Germany.
It always flashed like the album cover or something like that.
No, this was black and white.
About.
All right. Well, the Force wasn't strong.
But the show was called Beat Club.
Okay.
Yes.
Another
part of that.
Then, my friends, comes one of the worst things ever thought of in the history of Star Wars, the Star Wars Holiday Special. This was outranked by CPO Sharkey.
Yeah.
Wow.
This was outranked. This was outranked by the Captain and Tennille. This was outranked by Donny Osmond sings about his teeth. This was outranked by anything made by McLean Stevenson that year.
In that order?
In that order.
So you're saying they're better or worse than Star Wars Holiday Special?
They were worse, but they were better.
Maybe it's worse than Star Wars. I don't know.
And then came the thing we all wanted. We wanted new Star Wars movies, and we got them. I'm not talking about the prequels. I'm talking about the new ones that just came out. And what the hell was I talking about? And then we got three movies that were done so fast. They made Man of Steel look like Hamlet.
It's not hard to do, though.
What, Hamlet? No, it's not that hard. But this
make Man of Steel look like anything. Anyway,
these were turds late with mouse ears on them. If you get my drift,
I got the drift.
And I spent my $15, and I went to see all three of them. And you know what it felt like?
What?
I felt like a Buffalo Bills fan from the 1990s.
No.
We get to the Super Bowl, and it's bitter disappointment. That's what it felt like. I'm not going to say anything about the Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Kenobi. Those were great. I like those. But these three movies should be the thing we send to Donald Trump so he can speed his way out of here.
It's going to be hard. There's already too much shit in the office. Anyway.
No. These are three movies that they should play if they want to just psychologically break somebody. Because there is no way. You take the original cast, you put them in there, and then you knock them off one by one. And it doesn't make sense anymore. You had to have a thing where the original cast had to stay around to help the new cast. That's what was done. And they screwed it up, and that's that. So you know what? To Star Wars, the new version, to Disney, and to the holiday special.
Nice.
And not only that, 3PO is Dr. Smith from Lost in Space, only a little more. So,
Disney killed a bunch of careers, so who knows? I gotta say, Star Wars is noted for its dissolve-filled transition edits. Battlefield Earth has 5,000 more of those needless edits. Never.
Movie.
And it's still my favorite movie.
Why? It's my life.
I like it.
I haven't seen my parents in 40 years.
All I'm saying, never make your movie be like Star Wars.
Did you accidentally think he said this island Earth?
No.
Okay, it's not Battlefield Earth, I'm sure.
I was saying Highlander Earth. No, I don't.
I was...
Star Wars fans say they're not Nazis, Yet most of them dress up like Imperial stormtroopers.
Bingo.
This means violent fandom makes America's Senate floor look rather civil in comparison.
Yeah.
Okay. You go, smartass.
Oh, you took us there.
I had to.
Too political, too soon.
Too political. All right, we'll get off of that.
You ain't wrong, though.
All right, Cliff,
No.
you can go.
Well, no, I'll go on the political thing. This is one of the few things that I think Lucas got right. I'm going to give him a few bits of credit here because otherwise he's useless. That kind of like Idiocracy, he ended up being fairly prescient. You know, I remember seeing when the prequels came up and they're like, this motherfucker talking about trade routes and, you know, voting blocks in the Senate. I was like, no, that actually is the most important thing on the entire planet. If I had known how important tariffs were going to be to my life later on, I would have paid more attention to his shitty films. But I did it. I kind of made the joke that, like, you know, none of his films are edited. And that's the biggest thing. For how important these films are, they're unbelievably badly made. And the best thing you can say about them is that they are the most expensive independent films of all time. And that's really cool. And keep in mind, I love these films, but they're you know, unapologetically stolen from everything else. And it's not like he couldn't make a film. Like THX proves that he could make a film.
Strange Magic.
Yeah, if he had stopped, you know, if he has someone with some sort of control over him, but like once he's able to edit and direct, then it just goes to fucking shit. Also, I think it's mentioned, or maybe CTPO doing the exposition. Do you remember Rick Olay from the prequels? They jokingly refer to him as Captain Obvious because he just says whatever's in front of him. I think he thought he was in the old record versions where he needs to describe the action that's in front of him. But to be fair, that's how all of them talk. Like, there is no way in fucking hell you'll ever get me to believe that Anakin Skywalker ever had sex. I don't know whose kids those are. But that dude has never fucked in his entire life.
He is an incel. There's no denying that.
Well, Princess Leia kept, you know, mentioning, you know, boy, you're growing up. So make it better for them to have sex, I guess.
Pretty big, pretty tall for a stormtrooper.
I've been hot for you ever since you were a small child. And JJ, you said you felt like a Buffalo Bills fan. I felt more like a victim of Buffalo Bill watching Rise of Skywalker.
Oh!
That
Put
is
the lotion on the skin or it gets the lightsaber.
I will gladly watch the holiday special in slow motion and covered in Wookiee hair than to ever watch Rise of Skywalker again. I don't even consider that a film. That's just a hate crime, and it should be locked up in the
The only thing I gotta say about Rise of Skywalker is that it's like somehow Palpatine survived. I'm like, okay, you just let me down at that point, you know.
Yeah.
And then to have the opening crawl, like, you know, the end battles, like, you know, they're getting wiped out. And then also, but there's more of us, Poe. And you know, the theater goes nuts. But then I'm sitting there, I'm like,
we have horses from nowhere.
Why the fuck would you
They're
go
from
outer space
Endor,
horses?
actually.
You know, we're gonna get outer space horses. I'm like, Jesus God, are you kidding me? Horses on a Star Destroyer. Why don't you just get the Budweiser truck to just plow through the freaking thing? You know, here comes the rebels. Here they come to blow up the ship.
Yeah, Lucas at least would have had the horses poop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He would have at least had the decency to admit that this is the stupidest thing of all time. Or his kids would have put it in.
CGI'd poop on it.
CGI, I hate to break it to you both. Remember how they did that in The Lone Ranger? And what a dud that was?
Oh,
random slow motion poop for no reason. Damn you, Disney.
But it worked in Red Dead Redemption too, so I'll take it.
Well,
punching horses.
Shit.
I'll leave it at just that Lucas is just so amazing for someone who's made so much money with it. At the time we're recording this, the Lucas Museum has just opened. You know, LucasArts made some great video games, and it's amazing because he might be the worst director, and I mean an actor-director of all time. If you remember the movie, I think it was called The Cooler, where they bring a guy in just because he would give you bad luck. You know, he's like the reverse of a good gambler.
Yeah.
And that's like him. He will literally take like award-winning actors like Natalie Portman and make them into bad actors. Like it's not like that he can't direct them. He does the reverse. He makes them worse. I've never seen anything like it. Even Corman and And what they just didn't add anything to it. They didn't give him any direction. That's fine. He must be given the wrong direction. He must be. I know his famous is like faster, more intense, but
He's
I think
danger to
he must be actually saying slower, more awkward or something, or it's just that he himself is so awkward that it somehow rubs off to everyone, and all of a sudden everyone's self-conscious is the only thing I can think of. But for a person who can't direct for shit, he made some of my favorite films, so I don't know where the fuck to go with that.
I'm going to say this. The one scene that gets me the most. In a gray area. the one scene that gets me the most is Revenge of the Sith, where she's combing her hair and it's at night. And, Anakin's talking to her. And you could tell they filmed it in like 2 different spots. If you look at Natalie Portman's face, she looks like something out of like, I don't know, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Like an angel?
No. Okay, no. She looks like she should come out of the ship going, because
that was Anakin's line, actually.
Yeah. Like an angel? Shut up, you little shit,
This is for you guys. This is for you.
She looks so strange that in that one scene. And I mean, when they're doing that scene, it's so awkward. I'm just like, I've watched Revenge of the Sith like, 10, 15 times. I'm like, that
Too
one
many
scene
times.
always, that one scene gets me so awkward. It's like, you look beautiful. She's like, you think so? She looks like the end, that girl at the end of Sleepaway Camp.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I couldn't put it together. And I'm watching Sleepaway Camp at the end. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it looks like. She looks like the girl at the end of Sleepaway Camp,
Pamela
Springsteen.
Pamela Springsteen, yes.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that, and Jango Fett's, I know I was just making fun of his directing, but let's go ahead and make fun of his writing too. Jango Fett's plan to assassinate her, I feel like Charlie from Always Sunny, like the meme where he's got all the fucking red lines and shit on the table. What was that plan? I'm going to hire someone to shoot something in to then possibly kill her. What the fuck was going on? Like, what was the possible winning situation in that play? How would that ever have worked?
It was the Escape 2000 thing. Remember that from Mystery Science Theater?
Yes.
So your main character has to hire another main character in order to take out the one bad guy. That's what it was.
Then it even got more complicated because then it's like that person sent bots in to do it.
They need to make 6 more toys, so they're like, who else are we involved?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I should say I don't know why they did it. I know
this is true.
Yeah. Prequels especially were brutal. Sorry about the toys. Because they were like, here, look at these, like Rick Olay, for example. You're like, oh, this guy's gonna be huge. Can't wait to see what this cool ass character does. There's the ground. Shit. Thanks, man. Cool.
I just gotta say, I'm not sure if we're supposed to feel sorry for Anakin after 3 movies, or just see him become the Leroy Jenkins of the whole saga.
I think the one thing we gotta be like is, when you brought up the toys, right?
Yeah.
I remember in 77, 78, those toys came out, right? And you had to do the early bird and all that stuff. And then what happened this time around? Well, you released the toys before the movie came out. Now, if you think about it.
Okay? I mean, that's smart, though.
That was smart, but
we would have never got Walrus Man if it weren't for that. These immortal characters. It's interesting, and then that became like the lore. There's actually, but that's the fandom, right? The fandom saving.
It is all just the result of stupid luck and merchandise investing, but it still doesn't change the fact that it's a good-looking toy commercial.
Yeah.
Was there ever a Zuckus toy? Did they ever make original?
Yep.
Did Zuckus get one?
Zuckus and Forlom, they got both kind of toys.
So you got them as that pre-order set, right?
Oh, there.
No, you don't get it as the pre-order set. You could do I think for Zuckus or Forlom, I think one of them was a send away when Empire came out. And you had to clip the back of the card and send like 4 proofs of purchase in, and then you got one in the mail. But with the early bird in 77, 70, going to 78, it was, you would get the figures in 3 packs. So you would get Luke, Leia, and Han. I think it was Stormtrooper, Vader, Kenobi, C-3PO, R2-D2, and I think there was one more. And you got the original line. Oh, Death Star Commander, which was like the one that looked like, Mo Howard, like he had a big giant Mo Howard haircut. And Yeah, and you got Chewbacca. So that was and then they just built on that. So when they got on the shelves, you had all that on there. But yeah, they would always like and remember, they always advertise like send away 5 clip proofs of purchase. You get a free Boba Fett figure, or you get a free Zuckuss. It was Boba Fett, or you get Zuckuss, or you get and then there was Admiral Akbar. You could send away and get Admiral Akbar.
It's a trap.
I want to get that one. Yeah.
I think your point
with the Kenner toys, it's like you haven't seen Star Wars in 10 years. You start watching. The Imperial Starfighters look like Kenner toys. Oh wait,
Right.
Wait a minute.
All right, Adam, you can go. Sorry.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, happy Life Day, everybody. Seriously, Life Day. Is that the best you can come up with? If I want
For real.
a placeholder with 0 personality, I'll call Hayden Christensen.
Oh!
Jabba the Hutt is here, or as I like to call him, a walking billboard for Ozempic. I'm kidding. I'm just joking. He can't walk. I see Jabba's in a bad mood again, but I would be too if I'm too bad to see my own dick. Listen, speaking of touching your own dick, Han Solo is here. Seriously, why did they name him Han Solo? What was the second choice? Wank Lonely? Han shot first in the tissue. I bumped into Chewbacca backstage, or at least I thought it was Chewbacca, but it turned out to be Harvey Korman with his shirt off.
Too soon?
I caught a whiff of Chewbacca in the elevator. It looks like I own the inside of a Tauntaun, an apology.
Oh!
In a galaxy in a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, Chewie took his last bath. Listen, he's not the only one. Lumpy is here, or as we say, the Scrappy Doo of the Star Wars franchise.
Yes.
Yes.
He's the Godzuki of Empire Strikes Back. C-3PO is here. He's trained to speak in 6 million languages, and he can't say a non-annoying word in any of them.
Or racial tone.
When I see C-3PO approaching me at a cocktail party, I'm pointing to the door and making the jump to hyperspace.
Oh!
Good Lord, I'd rather vacation in Hoth. Of all the characters, I was expecting C-3PO to show up on Epstein's emails today. I must get off this island. And,
the only willing victim, though, that was a weird one.
Weird. You signed all those emails. And R2-D2 isn't much better either, you know. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Someone originally said that to the casting director.
Oh!
Yeah, there we go.
The Christmas special was the holiday special. You don't want to insult anybody. That's why they didn't say Christmas. The holiday special was so bad that Mark Hamill actually said the holiday special, he made it by mistake, making it the worst accident he's ever been in. So it's such a flop that right after that, the Millennium Falcon was turned into a Spirit Halloween. There's more of that. I can.
All right, that's a lot of applause. Please, everyone, round of applause.
Now I don't know if I want to read what I have.
No.
It's the exact same jokes.
No, don't do the same jokes.
No, yours are better.
We'll let you take a break, Adam. But man, dude, you fucking raised the bar. That's great. All right. Well, so I'm gonna let Gil go because no pressure.
All right. Well, I'm going to start by saying that I had the privilege of seeing Star Wars Holiday Special when it originally aired at 10 or 11. And even then I thought, what the fuck is this?
Why did it air at 10 or 11? I thought that'd be like an 8 p.m. deal.
I did too. I lasted maybe 30 seconds.
meant the age.
The age.
So did Chewie's dad.
Yeah. That's great.
Roast some characters here. Luke Skywalker. Luke's whole journey is basically kid who fails out of farm life, joins cult, loses hand, kisses sister, saves universe. He uses a lightsaber like it's a flashlight he keeps accidentally turning on. Darth Vader, the most dramatic man in the galaxy. Every entrance needs fog, breathing, and a theme song. He doesn't walk. He glides like a pissed off Roomba.
Whoa! Whoa!
Leah, strongest person in the universe, survived Jabba the Hutt, politics, and Luke's crush. That's a trilogy right there. Han Solo, scruffy-looking nerf herder, is Star Wars for guy who smells like he sleeps in his car.
Yeah. That's some accurate shit.
That's great.
Yoda, wise, powerful, talks like a malfunctioning fortune cookie. Chewbacca looks like a Bigfoot who joined a motorcycle gang. C-3PO, the only robot ever programmed to be annoyed at being a robot. R2-D2, he screams more than he beeps. He's basically a tiny rolling panic attack. Kylo Ren, Darth Vader if he worked at Hot Topic. Rey, she learned the Force so fast she should have had student loans. Obi-Wan lies to Luke so much he deserves an award for most supportive gaslighter. And the Emperor looks like a raisin that survived a lightning strike.
Whoa!
I love it.
Jar Jar, living proof that one character can almost destroy a franchise.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm going to add this one on. I'm going to ask this one on, Gil, because I like the one you did, and I think Adam kind of touched on this too, since we were talking about the Kenner figures. C-3PO is the only Kenner figure with articulation, and it was at the wrist. Yeah. That's what it says in my notes. That's what it says in my notes. I don't know who wrote these.
And by the way, the very dirtiest Star Wars character, Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto, yeah.
Hey. There's a reason they didn't name him on screen. Oh, it's great. Watching the entire sequel trilogy, even with Rip Track's commentary, it took longer for me than it took the entire Rogue Squadron to destroy that fucking Death Star. Oh.
Look, all I'm saying is this. The Emperor, my scrotum has more wrinkles than the Emperor. All right? Where else are you going to get an 80-something-year-old guy dressed up as a robe? Well, there's Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, there's Harvey Weinstein, but other than that, that's all I'm going to say right now.
With their powers combined, they become Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, with their powers, And I mean, what you see the Emperor and the Empire Strikes Back. It looks like somebody took one of those cheap cutout masks and put them on their face and said, "Okay, you're evil. Do something."
That's why they had to reshoot it, because it wasn't testing right.
And then I got to say this about Darth Vader. Okay, big, black, and menacing. All right, I get that. Okay, but when you sound like you need an inhaler every 5 seconds, you're not going to be that menacing in the long run.
Meanwhile, on a related note, big, black, and menacing, according to George Takei, oh my.
Yes. and there's another thing I got to say about the whole X-wing thing, when and TIE Fighter thing. When you say I got a great idea for an evil spaceship, let's just make it a giant H with a ball in the middle. You're not, it's not a great idea. And X-wings, okay, Y-wings. I'm gonna say this about Y-wings. They're the Chevy Pinto of outer space. Okay.
What about the planets?
Okay, Tatooine, dry, no water. Okay, fine.
Like your ex.
Yeah. Ex-wife. Okay.
Whoa.
And then hot, cold, foreboding, like my ex-wife.
Starting to see a pattern here.
Yeah, definitely. This is the ex-wife show now.
It's like he's doing different parts of Florida and Arizona.
Oh! We just got back from there.
So Yep.
Jack, I can imagine, Jackie Vernon. Here's some slides from my last vacation to Endor. This is me and my wife being greeted by the Ewoks. Anybody get that joke, Jackie Vernon?
I so appreciate you made it, Jackie. Yeah. I love being in a room full of people who
we talk too much about Amazon women on the moon sometimes.
That's a great movie.
And then I love, and the one thing I love is Alderaan. What if you planned a vacation to Alderaan? Is that the equivalent of going to like the Fire Festival?
That's the Elon Musk of planets.
That's
No, it's the Fire Festival.
Tatooine. That's what it's.
It's not the Fire Festival. It's the Fired On Festival.
The On Fire Festival. I like it.
And where the hell is Dantooine? Is that Tatooine's brother that nobody talks about?
Definitely the best.
When it comes to a family reunion, hey, Tattoo, where's your brother Dan? We don't talk about him too much. Why? It's just some things that happened when he was younger. We're not going to say anything about.
Still do better than Frank Tween.
Frank Tween. Or Ben Tween. Ben Tween.
I do like
Ben Tween. I got a cut the other day. I put some Ben Tween on it. It looked like a motherfucker. But other than that, but seriously,
but
folks,
Chico Tween needed the money.
Yes, he did.
I worked on the Death Star in 1974. That's when I was doing a double act with another stormtrooper, and we were. And the one thing I'm going to say this about what happened with like the whole, Lucas comes up with the idea of saying, you know what, I got a great idea. The sequel we'll do the sequel trilogy, but let me just do this. Let me take something that I've created and sell it to Disney and see how much they can make off of it, and let's see if it runs successfully. That's like saying Henry Ford saying, I got a great idea. I'm going to name a car after my son. It's going to be called the Edsel. And I'm going to it's going to be the most successful car, and it just bombs. That's it. Zilch.
Just like a Tesla. Oh.
DLT was better than the sequel trilogies.
Apparently. All right, so I got to ask you, and then I'll let Tom go. If the Emperor was this smart to conceal his true evil nature from the Jedi all these years, why now did he reveal it when he could keep playing them for fools? And by doing this brings up more questions, making me wonder if we, the audience, are too dumb to get this, or the filmmakers are that inept at displaying all this Shakespearean-level treachery.
I think we can safely say the latter. I've never felt especially humbled by the writing of Star Wars. Lucas in general, especially Adam and a bunch of you going through some of the lesser known characters, it's such a dichotomy of him of being a person who had such imagination and probably the worst imagination of all time. Like you were just saying, as you're going through the planets, it's like, so what's that planet like? It's all sand. Have you ever been to a planet, George? That's not how they are. They're not all ice or all sand. He's like, what's that guy about? Oh, he's there for the love of money. Okay, what's his name? For love of money. Okay, what about that sleazebag guy? Great name. Let's stick with that. You know what I mean? It's like he's just completely incurious. He doesn't bother to think. He's just like, this is how it is.
I had read somewhere that his ex-wife had a lot to do with helping structure those first movies.
And he fired her.
Yeah, she absolutely saved too, along with Irvin Kershner. The king of sequels,
Kurtz and Gary Kurtz. You could thank Gary Kurtz.
Yeah, editing. I've never understood what editing mattered to a film until you see the before and after, and you're like, holy shit.
Even a cinematographer writed. I gotta say, though, Ron Howard was offered a chance to direct the prequels, but instead directed Solo. For a man known for directing dramatically rewarding performances, why did he have to helm the most tonally deaf entry?
I don't know if that was the most tonally deaf entry. Rise of Skywalker still exists, and it gets all the superlatives and the worst.
Solo was okay.
Yeah, Solo was really the only one of the new ones that I actually saw, but I was just kind of like, with it.
I'll give you Rogue One. That's it. Anyway.
I didn't even care for that after rewatching.
Nice, Oreo.
Well, for a franchise where fans can't decide what's good and what sucks, I think it's clear that
they suck each other.
Well, but if you'd let me finish, I think it's clear that it's great at promoting arguments.
Yeah. Definitely. There's a whole book series, The Trial of Star Wars, where they go through all of the different, or Star Wars on Trial, or something of that nature.
Star Wars on Trial, perfect.
Yeah, and it's basically just them people making their different pitches of why it sucks, and then someone else defending it and going through that, because, like, what other series would be able to engender an entire thick book of doing that, or From a Different Point of View, which is a series they've got where it's more or less explaining some of the vague dumbassery. I mean, it is the king of generating no prizes, right? Just sit there and try and figure out why the hell anything happens in that film is amazing. And there's people who've decided why you can hear explosions and why there's fire in space and on and on. And there's fun in that.
I have a bomb to drop.
Uh-oh.
All this.
You should have gone to the bathroom before this started.
I did that too. But no, you're talking about books and shit, right? This franchise is so bad it landed itself in the Encyclopedia of Racism for having too many white people in it.
That's true.
I'm not kidding. I have the entries.
That's true.
It is
3 pages worth of that shit.
Let Adam speak. Sorry.
Well, I'm just saying, like Watto, like how anti-Semitic is that? You know, and then
right. Out of money. He's got a giant nose. He's wearing a fucking yarmulke.
Don't get me started on the Nemoidians.
And Jar Jar's a minstrel show. He might as well be in black. Oh, he is. He's in blackface.
The Nemoidians sound like really bad, like World War II Japanese generals.
Yes, exactly.
What are you going to do now? I don't know. Let's make some lice. Okay. Yeah.
Well, apparently he based, obviously Star Wars on those old serials from the 1940s, but he kept the racism.
Yes, he did.
Up. He made it color, that was different, and then he just kept everything up.
He colorized it.
I'm just happy that he went with the black stereotype of like smooth talking, slick guy rather than any of the other ones. I was like, you're still racist, but at least you went with one of the more, I guess, positive racisms that you could have done, because that could have been a landmine for a Southern California boy.
If it had been 40 years before, Lando would have been like, hello there. I'm Lando Calrissian. I'm the Baron of Cloud City. How you doing there, massa? That's what we would have had.
It would have been a white
Jar
guy
Jar.
in black.
Would have been Jar Jar. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I just said it would have been a white guy in blackface.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been John Wayne dug up again.
Yeah,
it would have been Jolson. How you doing, mammy? Oh, boy.
It is a non-racist version of Phantom Menace. It's 4 minutes long.
Blammo!
It's part of the opening crawl.
All the swearing.
Even the opening crawl is like,
they had to cut some redacted.
yes, they put a black bar.
All of the trade was taken by the. Well, you know what? We can't say that word.
Those people. Those people were in that.
It's the people your aunt who says they move next door. Those people.
Yep, that plus the explosion. That's all you get. But I'm going to let Tom go next.
Alrighty, I'm going to start off with just a little bit of an observation I made. Looking at the plot of Episode 4, New Hope, small farm boy destroys ultimate weapon with space magic.
Yep.
That ending makes the Lochnar look like William the Conqueror.
Love the Lochnar.
Love the Lochnar.
Yeah,
William the Conqueror.
Yeah, and while we're here on and just different things, the one thing I couldn't stand about Episode 2, the fight between Count Dooku and Yoda, I kept thinking to myself, that's Dracula getting his ass kicked by a CGI Muppet. A few years ago, it would have been Dracula getting beat up by a guy with a hand up his ass.
Oh.
If I wanted that, I would have asked for Kit Fisto.
Again.
Yeah, not to mention I'll tell you the truth. I tapped out after Episode 7. It made me long for the quiet dignity of the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh man.
J.J. Abrams is to lens flares as Michael Bay is to explosions.
Oh my God.
Abrams heard Star Trek and Star Wars, and good thing Battlestar Galactica isn't on the air anymore, else he fucked that one up too. Now, here's the thing about something else too. From Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, or Revenge of the Jedi, whichever you want to call it. I call it we're going to the Battle of Endor. Here's the thing for me. How in the fuck did the Empire lose? They had superior firepower. They had things that could blow shit up, and they got their asses handed to them. It's like getting your asses kicked by Teddy Ruxpin. And on a side note, Empire had all these great vehicles. They had the AT-ATs, which had 4 legs. The AT-STs, the chicken walkers, had 2 legs. They even had a one-legged version called the Zach Gowan.
Jesus
that's a
Christ.
wrestling joke.
Yeah, I
Too.
got that
I see
joke.
what you did there. I see what you did there. Oh,
Here's a question for you. Here's something that crossed my mind. Whenever 3PO saw Darth Vader, didn't he say? Wouldn't he just naturally say, "Hey, I think I know that guy"?
Yeah. They wipe his memory, but still, we had to go 2 movies before we got that answer. The fuck, man.
Yeah, and going back to the Battle of Endor real quick, let's just call it what it is. Ewoks are basically Wookiees washed in hot water.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yoda says size matters not. Try telling that to a one night stand.
Oh.
While we're here, do you think there are Star Wars truthers out there? The Death Star was an inside job.
Yep.
Death Star calls 9/11, man.
That's right. Before I forget, I also have to mention the kiss between Luke and Leia from Episode 4.
Oh, dear.
That launched 1,000 erotic fanfics on Ancestry.com.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got something else to think about. R2D2, filthiest mouth ever.
Yes.
Yeah. What else we got here? Funny thing about Disney buying Star Wars is like trying to get Minnie Mouse's ears into those little buns. And don't get me started. I do not want to see the slave Minnie outfit.
Oh, no.
Also, let's talk about some of the other characters, like Mon Mothma, or that's one character that if you added one layer, the Rebel fleet would have been led by a giant moth.
Yep. Would have been a better movie.
Yeah, Boba Fett. He's supposed to be this badass, and he's got all the screen time makes him look like an idiot. And what about all the other bounty hunters from Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back? He was better than all of them? How fucking bad were those other guys?
I thought the same thing.
Yeah. And here's something else too I want to talk about Lando Calrissian for a minute, but not in the stereotypical way you might think. Here's a guy who, first of all, how did he get to be a general? Literally, he flies a spacecraft. Doesn't that make him an admiral? Think about that for a second. And while we're thinking about Lando, here's a guy who lost the Millennium Falcon in a card game. He makes a deal with Lord Vader in Cloud City, and somehow the Rebel Alliance says, you know what? This is a guy who makes great decisions. Let's put him in charge.
That's perfect, my dude.
I appreciate that you called him Lord Vader. He didn't go to 4 years of Darth school. Thank you for using his proper title.
That's fucking great.
And something about Jar Jar Binks. I mean, we rag on him all the time, but you know what? He's an idiot. He's easily manipulated. He's utterly fake. You know what? He could serve in Congress right now.
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
you want to go?
Yeah,
you want to go political there? I got you.
Oh
right,
God, man, Tom, fucking leading, man.
Tom, you threw the javelin and you threw it the farthest.
And I haven't even gone yet.
Don't worry, Adam. You're number 2. Oh,
yeah. I'll be performing at the Holiday Inn in Shreveport here in a little bit.
You did bring up so many plot holes I had for years. I was always like, Return of the Jedi. Yeah, sure they lose the shield generator, but literally all they got to do is blow up the fucking Ewok planet, and everybody dies, and there's no movie.
Yeah,
that's all they got to do. They lose their shield. But everybody, all the opposition's gone. It's all on the Ewok.
No, but they can't have a bad ending because it's for kids.
I know. And plus,
stupid.
Where did the rest of the firepower go? Yeah.
Well, and plus we can't kill Care Bears in space. That's just
yeah.
But
here's the thing that blows my mind. There's now a scene that they deleted where the Emperor wants to turn the Death Star on Endor. And Moff Jar Jar, it sounds like you're having like a stroke when you say his name.
Moff Jar
Jar is like having second thoughts about doing it. You hear the guy going, "They've gotten to the reactor, sir. Okay, yeah. Folks, at that point I would be like, okay, anybody want to get coffee? I want to get coffee. Anybody want to get coffee? Let's all get coffee, okay? Coffee, let's go. Just leave our post. We'll just go. Where are we going? The emergency center. Okay, the emergency center. Okay, that's fine. No problem. Okay, good. Why are we gonna blow up anything? We're not blowing up anything. Oh, we're gonna get coffee. Anybody want to get coffee? You want to get coffee? You troopers want to get coffee? Let's get coffee. All right, let's go get coffee. They all get in a giant Imperial shuttle and they're like, we're getting coffee, right? No, we're getting the hell out of here. But you said we're getting coffee. Bullshit,
I'm with you, man. Too many coffee breaks. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, let me say one thing about Luke Skywalker. If only his uncle and aunt would let him go to a Tashi station, maybe he wouldn't have wound up to be such an annoying, whining prick.
Oh, yes.
Luke is a twink.
Yep.
Something hit me today watching Star Wars.
Dear.
Chewie's dick.
Something Luke says when he sees the Millennium Falcon. What a piece of junk!
What a piece of junk.
I'm
Is he talking about the Wookiee?
And I'm going, if you look at your surroundings the entire movie until this point, pretty much everything's a piece of junk up to,
Look at Tatooine lately.
That's one of the strengths of the movie. It's all worn out and lived in,
I hear you.
Plus, it doesn't look like a piece of junk.
I was just say Luke's reaction to a lot of things are just completely bizarre, right? Is like his adopted family, the only one he's ever known, dies, and he's like, guess I have to leave. And then basically his mall karate teacher dies an hour after he meets him. He's fucking devastated. He's losing it. This is the most important thing to him. I was like, you just met this motherfucker. What the fuck's wrong?
There's a parody called Thumb Wars.
Yes.
One of the best ever. Adam knows this one.
And he calls
Hardware
and
Wars.
his uncle, I might be getting the names turned around, but it was like Aunt soon to be dead and Uncle gonna bite it.
Uncle gonna bite it.
Take her away and book her. Yeah, it's all coming back.
For all the various characters that made sacrifices, what good was Luke's?
He lost his hand. What do you mean? Is that it?
No.
He kills himself in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
You bought him a couple
Spoiler
minutes.
alert.
I have
Seriously.
I have to say, Mark Hamill is great as the Joker, but Luke Skywalker is one fucking hell of a joke.
Yeah. Honestly.
He's my favorite character till they got to The Last Jedi, and then it was like,
yeah,
fuck that up.
Now, when we're talking jokes, are we talking like ha-ha jokes, knock-knock jokes, or Dane Cook jokes?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely the far into the asshole spectrum, which is Dane Cook.
I also think a side effect of Han Solo getting frozen in carbonite is he lost his bravado and he lost his acting ability. First half hour, at least, of Return of the Jedi, he's just awful.
Yeah, man.
Looking at it again, he's groggy, he's trying to get back out, he's going through sickness and all that, but
he's blind and he's blind and he can't see Leia. And
good luck, you two, to Lando. It was also
this is Harrison Ford.
Like, he didn't want to be there.
I don't care.
Now his face looks like it's frozen in carbonite.
Yeah.
Well, the shots he got.
I did think, though, given how much he wasn't romantic with Leia afterwards, he might have become impotent.
Probably.
The one thing I do is walk up to Lando and be like, "Hey, Lando, what the fuck were you doing wearing my goddamn shirt and my vest when you're leaving the fucking Falcon?"
It's very simple.
You found it in the closet.
Go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
We're dealing with carbonite freezing. You got to imagine that's gonna put the fish down for a little while. He's not amorous because he doesn't know how to act or what to do or anything like that. It's because his little Han is still in the ice cave in Hoth, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Well,
honestly, thinking about Return of the Jedi now.
I tried to mention it earlier, but Han Solo being blind, he didn't have a chance to see Princess Leia in a bikini.
Oh,
it might have helped.
It might have reawakened me. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, even at the end of Return, at the end of Return of the Jedi, Han's not even really romantic with Leia. Period.
Yeah,
she's more leaning on Luke.
I'm over you, man.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going back to my brother. He had it going on. I mean,
hey there, Leia, you sure
got
a pretty mouth.
You ever hear that Planet Kentucky?
In Tennessee, it's another Tuesday.
Oh God!
All right, Oreo, you amazing asshole, you who suggested this show, you get to go.
oh boy, I get to go.
Oh my God, he gets to go.
Oh God, I get to go! Yay! Holy shit. This fucking franchise. No, I'm dead serious. Like, I have had so many fucking arguments over this thing. It's to the point where you can't enjoy it. It's not fun anymore. And it's not because of the sequels. It's the fandom that made it toxic. They expect too much shit. And when their subconscious expectations aren't met, they turn into keyboard warrior Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
And just go out and just niggle with anybody who likes the movie that they don't like. It's dumb. It's like, grow up. And the worst part about the fucking franchise is Vader. You make he's the only black man that can really survive in the franchise. I mean, I brought this shit up in a video or some comment section, and somebody got really mad about it. You're a liar. I'm like, no, nobody.
Dude, John Boyega didn't even survive the poster.
Oh God.
But no, it's just really wild to me. It's like you make this imposing villain. I get that. You have to have an imposing villain. I understand that. But to make him beat every other minority that comes up and they're brand new and they don't even get a chance to live past him is stupid as shit. And the fact that the whole franchise ended up in the Encyclopedia of Racism is just baffling to me. 3 pages worth of this shit. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
And the other worst parts about this is marketing and the lack of there's too much quantity of figures out there versus quality. And they really do this because they don't care. They just care about the shareholders' quota. That's it.
Yep.
It's so sad.
It's Disney.
Fucking Disney.
Here I thought the Luke figure I just bought off of eBay was one of those that had the severed hand. It was just broken. It was already pre-broke. So there you go.
Broke AF.
The guy's dog ate it, chewed it off.
Oh my god!
Did the purchase of Star Wars by Disney, was it in the billions?
Yeah,
$4 billion.
Oh yes,
2.2 billion in cash and 2.2 in cash and 2 billion in stock, which is probably worth 5 that now.
That's before inflation.
Yeah,
I mean, I like Star Wars, I do, but I do not give a motherfuck about the OT at all. I can't stand that shit. Everybody leans on it so goddamn hard. It's the best thing ever. I'm like, have you really taken them glasses off, or did you get them infused into your fucking eyeballs? That's crazy.
There's a historical moment, Oreo, in cinema as far as fan expectation and how things are tracking. You guys remember the 2008 movie, the Dread 2008 movie that with Carl Urban?
Yes.
The Raid Redemption remake.
That was great.
So yeah, basically the Raid with Dread. So here's that movie, when it premiered at San Diego Comic-Con, it blew the roof off the house. It was R-rated. He didn't take his helmet off. It was this huge thing. It was all the buzz. The movie comes out and it pulls like not even 8 million on its opening weekend, 3 weeks afterwards. And the studio were like, what the hell happened here? And basically the whole purpose was that was the very last time in quote unquote Hollywood where they did pure fan service. And then they got all the hype they wanted and they didn't see a return on it. And what I'm getting at is like when you're talking about the fan expectation of the Star Wars stuff and everything else, it's like a long time ago, this is the textbook example of fans don't mean shit at this point. So we're going to make money off it. And, it's hard to make money off an R-rated movie too, if it's not a comedy and all this other thing. But given everything on paper, that movie was supposed to be a smash hit and nobody said that otherwise. And then it came out and it tanked so hard and everybody still looks at it today. So they look at the fans as a, 10th of a percentile than
it's not even the fans, it's just the fucking test audience, which is probably like 20 people. And like,
screeners are a different thing. Yeah.
How much did they spend on making that movie? Because a lot of that took place in a building.
Yeah, it was all shot in one set. It was like it wasn't $20 million, I think.
It was pretty low budget, but then they didn't spend the right marketing value, and it's like you got to spend a bunch of marketing. It's got to be on a billboard. It's got to be. It can't be the week before. You got to hype it up.
And
Yeah.
and when you think about it too, the original trilogy, that whipped up the whole fan base. But then you've got the prequel trilogy comes out,
My favorite trilogy.
Yeah, it comes out. It comes out 22 years later. Now everybody wants to know. Okay, what happened? How did Anakin fall to the dark side? Okay, we all want to know that because if you had the Return of the Jedi book when you were a kid, they talked about falling, a lava pit and all this shit, right? Then we're like, okay, we're done. We've got the Thrawn trilogy between that, so that way, it, and we've got, and it expands. That expanded universe is going to be used. Okay, then Lucas sells it to Disney, and Disney says, hey, let's just shit on what everybody's had expectation for the last couple years. Let's play off the whole idea of let's see how far we can push the hardcore fans and the vitriol when we make these movies, because we know we're not going to get the original cast. We're going to have a whole bunch of new people here. And let's throw the curveball in the first movie. Let's throw that curveball in the first movie. And then the last movie, we throw the big curveball. And everybody's going to be like, oh. Well, let me tell you something. It didn't happen the way it should have happened.
That's true. I will agree with that. I like the sequels too. And they have their issues. I know this. They're still good to watch if you don't get so fucking hooked on the issues with it. It's still a great film to sit through. And I like Rey. She's a good character. It's just people don't get the fact that they're saying, oh, it's too woke. I'm like, do you even know that Luke was originally going to be Kira? Does anybody even remember that or know that shit?
Yeah.
I found that out through an art book. I was like, oh, cool.
I think their excuse, though, is always like, hey, it's a new round of film. We've got a new round of kids. So, and the kids don't care about, that's always their excuse.
Exactly.
Like,
it's a generational thing. You can like any part of a franchise without having to like all of it.
Bingo.
Yeah,
it's kind of impossible to like every single entry.
Word.
But I got to say, though, I love how the original trilogy fanboys will defend only that vision. Yet, they hate the Vader and Obi-Wan fight. Return of the Jedi wasn't beloved at the time. They consider Boba Fett overrated now. And now they won't admit that the special edition had some okay changes.
The special edition really helped it, though. It gave it more
X-Wings.
Yeah.
And more Banthas, the Bantha herd. It was terrible.
Well, no, it was more fast-paced.
We didn't need Jabba the Hutt. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I mean, there is...
And Max Rebo, he was terrible in concert. Let me just say.
I don't mind the changes. The problem is that those changes are the only way to watch those films.
That's also
the heavy-handedness that they've approached this with has been the problem. And Disney, as much as all of us have trashed on Trump, well, as we should have. Sorry, I'm always thinking he's a piece of shit.
He is.
Most of us is always trashed on Lucas. Lucas, yes. Lucas, he wouldn't have overcorrected in the sense that, after Last Jedi came out, Disney was so worried that, 6 racists on Reddit were mad that, a woman showed up, that they were like, okay, don't worry, they're all dead and everything's back to the way you fucking idiots like it. And Lucas wouldn't have, right? He would have wrote some other completely baffling, stupid shit, but it wouldn't have been that. It wouldn't have been a crowd writing exercise, it would have been just one idiot rather than 60 idiots, you know what I mean?
Get Jar Jar.
And that's yeah,
he would have
exactly. It would have been its own special brand of racism rather than a crowdsourced, unpalatable racism. But yeah, it's just.
I like the fact that there's more than one writer at the helm. It helps because then you have people to bounce ideas off of versus one singular vision. One singular vision is good. I like that shit. It's helpful. But when you have a bunch of people together, it can be a clusterfuck.
This is true.
And sometimes it pans out, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on who's involved. Same with directors and producers.
Yep.
I mean, that was somebody to say that's a bad idea. That is racist.
And it's always the diehard fans doing that shit.
Should have said that to Ryan Johnson.
I agree. The Last Jedi is what you get when you mix Bryan Singer's attention-getting plot twists, Uwe Boll's nonsensical scripting, Christopher Nolan's hackneyed sound editing, God, that hurt my ears, J.J. Abrams' lens flare, and Michael Bay's heavy-handed, in-your-face style, all at the same time.
Last Jedi, the reason Snoke dies is because he doesn't install antivirus software. Like, this is the worst plot device of all time.
Snoke is like this kid I worked with was like going, Snoke. He comes up to me. He's like, so did you see Last Jedi? I'm like, yeah, I saw Last Jedi. He's like, do you know what Snoke means? It says Sith no one ever knew. I was like, no Sith no one knew except expect. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I mean, are you where'd you read this? I read it on the internet. Do you even take the time to even think before you say something?
Oh, but thinking's overrated, James.
And then I quoted something. The ability to make you speak does not make you intelligent.
Bingo.
You know, I said you had this,
Luke wishes he said that.
No, he did. That was the line that he says to Jar Jar. He wrote that.
That's what I said. That's what I said to this kid, and this guy, and he's like, well, that's what I said. Yeah, that's what you think you hear. You don't know that. That's not the truth. The truth is when they put it on the film, and God knows what they're going to do this time. I mean, you don't understand. It's like when Star Trek came out, right? And they did the first one, okay? And that got a lot of shit because it was like, it was plotting. Now they've redone it, and it's now people are starting to see, oh, it was a great movie. When you did 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that trilogy, that 2, 3, and 4 trilogy.
Adam, as you know, they had their own prequel trilogy. It was in the form of Part 5.
Yeah, Part 5.
Almost was the final Star Trek. It was almost the final frontier at the box office.
Oh God. But when you watch 2, 3, and 4, the reason why they did that was because number one, the second one, it was Gliss Meyer. He never saw Star Trek, but he brought this fresh approach to it. 3 and 4 were Nimoy, and Nimoy knew how to give the plot and the pacing good on it. Yeah. 5, Shatner. Let's admit, Shatner got screwed over by Paramount because Paramount that summer was going to have Indiana Jones come out, and they basically put all their eggs to Indiana Jones while Star Trek got. 6 was Meyer again, and the thing was Nimoy and Meyer were working on this, and they said, okay, we got to make this where it's like Chernobyl. And, that's the thing. But Star Wars was like 4, 5, and 6, Galactic Civil War Resolution.
Boom.
1, 2, and 3, Jedi are in power, Republic's doing good. Then the Clone Wars happen, and then boom, the villain comes out of nowhere, and then it's the separation. It's the what we once knew is not there anymore.
No.
4, 5, and 6, it was like, okay. Let's see what's going. Okay, well, let's see. What's this? The thing is, they didn't go far enough in depth with a lot of things. How many planets were with the Resistance? How big was the fucking First Order? Was it just Starkiller based? Were there more across the galaxy? How did Palpatine? How did he survive that?
I agree with you, but the Star Wars is at its worst when it tries to explain something that already happened. Worst instincts.
To your point. In other words, they pulled a Godfather free, where by drawing more and more depth to underdeveloped characters only adds to more bullshit that you don't want.
Star Trek reinvents itself. They don't do any plot. Star Wars has to stay on this line.
Yeah,
and it's so stupid.
Godfather 3, because it just feels like, why are you doing this movie?
Star Wars is fantasy. Star Trek has science. Therefore, the battle for apples and oranges has begun.
Well, like the prequels, they threw in. You had the original 3 movies, which is 4, 5, and 6, and then you had the prequels, and the prequels had to throw in metachlorians and things like that.
Yep.
Never mentioned in the other 3 movies.
Yeah.
I will say the worst part about Mandalorian season 2 was Luke. That was absolutely horrible, and it's so dumb. Like, you have all the heroes are lined up; they're going to defend themselves against the Dark Troopers, and then one ship landed. One ship. Oh, it's Luke. He saves the fucking day and just shits on everybody else. And then the fucking kid goes on the side quest only to come back to his dad and stays with him. What a goddamn waste that was.
Well, that's what got me. That's what got me too. Because I mean, I was like, who's this showing up? Okay, wait a minute. That's a red X-wing. Oh wait, Okay, I get it.
I never rolled
right.
my eyes so fucking hard. I could have won. I could have won fucking lottery.
The
on that
episode
shit.
of The Mandalorian I rolled my eyes with was the episode with Lizzo and Jack Black
Well,
and Christopher
I haven't
Lloyd.
gotten to
Yeah,
see.
that was fun. That
I
was
haven't
very
gotten
old
to
school
season
Star
3
Wars.
yet.
in
Yeah.
the sort of
I
goofiness.
was let down that it wasn't a tenacious planet.
Were they there because Art Carney wasn't available?
Oh,
And the funny-
I'm dead.
Christopher Lloyd, I just like Reverend Jim in Star Trek. The shield generator.
and the
Yeah.
Oh boy.
and the
What?
dumbest thing about Kenobi is that he gains a new force power. He becomes flame retardant.
Somebody had to do it. I got a joke for all you guys in the universe. Isn't it a shame that Star Wars in universe, you have characters who can buy an actual gun with bullets, but they cost more than a blaster? It should cost us, the people, less, given the amount of plot holes I can shoot through these fucking movies right now.
The thing about Star Wars to me, especially prior to the Disney abominations, Lucas kept a pretty tight grip on the story. He would determine, well, this is canon, this is not canon, this should be shot out of the canon. But then, and then when you get to Disney, they're doing all this stuff to fill out the universe while filling their coffers at the same time. And they've forgotten the concept that not every character needs to have a limited series.
No, you don't need backstories for everything. I don't need to know where Han got his fucking dice from. That has never been a question anyone's ever asked.
And not to mention the very fact that that their version of the Bible that insiders know, basically a Bible is basically the entire universe of any franchise. They've strayed so far away from the Bible. They should start calling it the Book of Mormon.
Oh,
damn.
And Luke needs free wives now. Well,
Cliff, you said earlier, go ahead, Gil.
I was just going to say, I wonder about the backstory for Queen Amidala. I wonder why she went from a queen to a senator.
That is unfortunately been explained, and I'm not going to bother because so there really is an in-universe explanation for all that.
And why the hell did she love Anakin Skywalker? He was a whiny bitch who bitched about sand.
Right? Yep.
And if we could have gotten this much risque romance from all our couples in these movies, why didn't we have some actual Emmanuel in space action at that point?
Star Wars as a franchise is been sexless by design.
Yeah. But tell me, Wand Kenobi. Sounds pretty rad.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my. Well, you've just written the plot for the porno.
Yep.
Which one?
There's too many.
Guys,
well, you got Han Solo.
Go ahead, James.
There is a pornographic version of Star Wars with Tom Byron.
I've seen it. It's hysterical. Tom Servo from Mystery Science Theater appears also. No joke.
I like the theory about what Chewie's dick is like. Is it like a dog's like Red Rocket, or is it like
he's raw dogging it?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Does he get a lipstick?
That's kind of like wondering what the thing's dog looks like.
His DVD.
Well, and before we go, we got to ask: can the Force make it grow?
Yeah.
I
noticed this isn't the penis you're looking for.
Something about dog penis. So
finally, a subject we can all agree on.
Yeah.
We all own dogs here.
I noticed something subtle in Empire Strikes Back today. Of the three originals, it's the only one without any goofy-looking alien creatures in it, which I think is a subtle way of making it more serious too. There's no Jabba the Hutt.
Tom disagrees. Let Tom go. But
well, here's the thing: you got the creature in the ice cave. That is literally
that's a menacing creature. Yeah.
But no, you're missing the point. That's literally the abominable snowman from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking for a Bumble. He's got one arm.
Plus, the scruffy-looking Nerf herder line takes me out of the movie every time.
But there's no goofy bar scene, you know what I mean. And Yoda is dramatic enough to pull the goofiness off, and he's a 800-year-old man. So.
Yeah, he's Kermit. He's Kermit the Frog if he worked out.
Yeah, he's like the third choice. Like, can we get Kermit? No. Is Shrek available?
Shrek.
No. All right.
I will
know
say
we-
this much about Star Wars.
And Oscar's a
Talk to my
terrorist.
agent, you must.
I said to someone, I said to someone as a joke one time, I said, can you imagine Walter Matthau voicing Yoda? Size matters not. Look at me. 800 years. Why the hell am I talking like this, for Christ's sake?
I hate to break it to you, James. Walter was bad news.
Oh, I see what you did there.
So I know I just said that I don't want to see the backstory, but for the Wampa, I do want to see about an hour-long film specifically about how he got to hang Luke Skywalker up, right? By his legs, because they're frozen into the ice.
Yeah.
So they're frozen in the ice. So he's got to have melted the ice. So he's got fire. He has to go make fire. That could be the first act. You know, he has to discover, his people have to discover fire. Then he melts it. He gets it. Oh, and then he's like, oh, fuck. Now it's all fallen. And I'm just holding him up here. I've got to somehow get the water up there and make ice out of it with his leg. I want to see the engineering, the years that took him and time machines he had to make, because there's no fucking way to do that.
Oh,
That's just called the plot called for it.
It is plot and stupidity, which is pretty much all Star Wars. But yeah, so let's recap. Luke gets hung up. Han is well hung.
Lando's better hung.
Yeah,
Lando's got the BBC.
Lando walked out of the Millennium Falcon with his vest on backwards.
Lando hangs with everybody. So yeah.
Yeah, and he's got the Colt 45 to go along with it.
Colt 45 knocks him out every time. You sure you don't want to? No, I don't.
You just
show
need
that
Long Duck Dong to show up, you know.
Yes, we did. The
Millennium
dog
Falcon.
show.
Millennium Falcon. Millennium Falcon.
Go ahead,
I was
Dad.
in Disneyland yesterday, and the Rise of the Resistance ride broke down 3 times.
That's a metaphor for something, man.
Something.
Yes, it
On the
is.
way out, we saw Chewie, and he wouldn't stop to take a picture of my daughter. We're chasing him around like it's a big star. So, by the way, fuck Chewie.
Yeah, fuck Chewie, man.
That's canon. That's canon. What
That is
happened.
canon.
Rise of the Resistance. It's like Rise of the Repair Crew.
Where were they
Jesus,
on the Death Star? What were you paying those fucking people?
I went on the Smuggler's Run in 2019. That was a great ride.
Oh yeah.
Rise
Yeah,
of the
we did that too.
Resistance. It's like Jesus. From what I hear, it's like you don't do anything. You know,
Oh,
it's
it's great.
just
And stand in line.
So
And
now,
then-
Anyone
now I know
standing
why-
in line is long.
Star Tours. Now there was a good one.
That
Oh
was
my
a
God.
still
tour.
By the
around.
way, no line at Star Tours last night.
Yeah.
Like, please come in if you can. Come on in.
Yeah.
Star
and-
Tours.
They had to shut down the hotel because people couldn't fucking afford it.
I
Oh,
read
so
about
expensive.
that.
Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$5,000 a weekend. Come
They,
on.
that-
they drank too much blue milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these
Yeah.
shitty blue shrimp. It looked
that blue
horrible.
milk, yeah, the blue milk was
It looks pretty bad. Yeah.
My wife and I
Okay.
went to the Smuggler's Run, in Florida, right? And we ordered from the menu, from there. And I'm like, this is just like, okay. So what we got was like, I don't know what the hell it was. It was like, it's just like, tauntaun. And I'm eating. I was like, it's chicken and sausage. That's what I'm fucking eating right now.
Yeah.
It's
You
ra-
know?
You
it's-
thought it smelled bad on the outside.
Oh.
No.
Anyway, let Tom go.
You know the worst thing about the Death Star? They were just 3 payments from paying the damn thing off.
Warranty ran out the week before.
I gotta say.
That reminds me, those Family Guy trilogies are pretty
yeah.
good to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Something Dark Side is
They're
still
pretty good.
Yeah.
I
And
would've-
Robot Chicken.
those are
Oh,
good.
yeah.
also amazing.
Those were great.
Went to Bangkok to get a TIE fighter. I love it. But
My favorite part of that is like they're sneaking around and they're playing the Blues Brothers theme.
yes.
And Minnie the Moocher like da da da.
Yeah.
And
Is
they're
that when
putting
they were
couch
moving
in
the couch?
Millennium
Yeah,
Falcon.
the
That
couch
cracks me
going
up.
in. That scene has nothing to do with Star Wars, but it's still just for a Family Guy, especially. It's just well written and done, and it's like probably one of the more quoted lines, right? He's like, "But your side, your left. You have to
Your
tilt
left,
it."
your left.
Well, who
your
hasn't
left.
had that
No,
conversation?
my right,
with
your
movie
left.
furniture?
It's amazing. It's got fuck all to do with Star Wars. Well, I'll take it.
I wouldn't toss it in the rancor pit. I'll tell you that.
I always thought a
Riker,
good.
I don't even know her.
Oh,
You talk about all the money that George makes off the movies, and then he makes the prequels, and they're not good because he's got nobody telling him no, right? Like he's got infinite money, infinite time, infinite resource, and everything good ends up like usually coming from restriction. Like Jaws is the classic example. Like Bruce wasn't working. So you get the yellow barrels. And now that's like the greatest moment. That's why the movie's awesome. But it's like he has all that money. He doesn't ever need to do anything. And I always thought the ultimate fuck you would be like, hey, you know what? I'm not making the prequels. I'm going to do like a sitcom, call it like Wookiee in the City. And it's about Chewbacca living in New York. And he's like roommates with like Ernest Borgnine. And they like work at the factory together. Like,
Speaking of
Sarah Jessica Parker can be in both.
Yeah.
Yes, she can play the tauntaun.
That's what her face looks like.
I
now.
thought she'd feel
Oh.
better on the outside.
Speaking of
That'd be
sitcoms,
Kim Cattrall saying, "Hey girls, you know what happened to me? I went with a tauntaun, and I thought they smelled bad on the outside. But there's something else about them. They've got a giant, you know."
Yeah, Space Mr. Roper shows up right then, like, whoa!
No, you gotta do it.
Look, what are you doing?
No, it's not Space Mr. Roper. It has to be Space Mr. Furley.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Space Mr. Roper would look right in the camera, you know.
Yeah.
You ever try to say Oreo?
I'm going to have to roll out. First of all, I want to give my vote for Adam for winning the roast.
Yes.
I'm not going to do the Reese fight. But I want to say one thing, because ending on a sort of positive note, as roasts usually do. You know, I think about this sort of thing is what I like most about Star Wars, right? It gave us kind of coming together, all of us have cool like origin stories about how we watched it. We come together. If there hadn't been Star Wars and this sort of idea of picking it apart and finding these things, we wouldn't have gotten Star Wars Minute, and then I wouldn't have had my podcast, you know, this idea
Predator
of
Minute.
the intense fandom that it develops, both, you know, of all the different ways and the different ways you can experience it. You can get really into the lore. You can make jokes about it, you know, and we talked about all the different parodies of it. All of that stuff, it basically gave us a feeding ground to all kind of develop and become creators, you know. And I respect it so much. You know, it's almost it wouldn't have worked if it were perfect. It needs its faults to have become what we have all become.
Exactly.
I agree.
I've always said this too about Star Wars. When we were growing up, and when I was growing up, you know, we're all part of that age bracket. You know, we're Gen X. And
millennial here.
Gen X.
Just a couple younger years. I think Adam as well might be.
Gen X.
A push.
Gen X.
That's a push. You're pushing it.
Millennial. Okay.
Elder millennial.
The Millennium Falcon. Hey.
So you got to think, for us, you know, there had been Star Trek for, you know, the baby boomers. Star Wars for us was, well,
I'm just kidding.
Well, Star Wars for us was like this big giant like thing that happened in our lives. Like, it's like somebody said it best. I think somebody said it best one time. They said, you know, the minute it's like the Wizard of Oz. You know, everything's black and white, and then it goes to color. With us,
and then it goes to shit. Oh,
yeah. I see where you're going. Keep going.
I know what you mean.
Serious.
I know.
Racist. So what it is, the world for us when we're kids, you know, when you're like 2-3 years old, maybe a little older, you know, we're looking at the world. We just see, you know, everything mundane, the same thing. You know, we're at school and stuff like that. This movie comes out, and everything goes, bam! Like my mind got opened up to a lot of things going on around me, and I started to realize this is modern day mythology. There's a movie that came out 5/25/77. I don't know if it's been released or not, but it's about a kid who basically makes films in his backyard, right? And he goes to see Star Wars, and he's telling everybody about the experience that he had seeing the movie. And it's like, it's funny to watch, but it's like, I don't know if it's been officially released, but it's everything. And I'm 2 years old, but I'm thinking, I can imagine being like a teenager in the 70s. You know, you're some kid, you don't really fit in, and then you go see this movie, and you're just like, wow. You look at everybody around you, and we're all kind of like connected by this experience. And that's what Star Wars was for us. I think as you get older and time goes on, you look at that, you know, that first trilogy, the original trilogy, as kind of like, you know, your first girlfriend.
Oh,
no. No, I'm serious. No,
Okay, good.
it's like that's your first real experience with the world. Then the prequel trilogy comes along, and you're just like, okay, I get what's going on here. Now we're gonna get the backstory. This new trilogy, it just was like, okay, I'm happy I saw it again, but what what did it leave me? It left me nothing. So that original trilogy to me is like the big touchstone for all of us, and that's the thing I love about it. We can pick this apart, we can make jokes about it, we can do all this stuff about it, but it's still
It made
that
things
hallmark in
possible.
our life.
It's still gonna change the fact you had fucking bell bottoms back then.
Yeah.
I was 2 years old. I think I was 2 years old when it came out, so I kind of had those like Oshkosh Bagosh pants.
Yes. Do you remember being 2 when that came out, or did you?
I remember going to see it in the movie theater.
I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything before the age of 3. But...
My mother and my father, we were in Ohio, and we were going to see it. And my mom said, there's this movie that came out, Star Wars. Why don't we take JJ to see it? Because my father had he was when I was growing up. My father would put on the old Flash Gordon stuff, for me to watch when I was a kid. And, of course, I was like, whoa. So, take a 2-year-old kid to a matinee, it's Star Wars, this movie. And all I remember is watching, and I was like going like my sister who was in the movie theater with us, said that at some point I was like looking, I couldn't talk to anybody. I was just like, what happened?
It made me want to become a filmmaker. It also made me realize what makes movies so good. It also was the first one where I watch it more than I need to, and I go, I see what I could do better. Yeah. I know there's alternate endings. Now there's fan fiction.
Yeah, and I think JJ, Oreo, both of you guys talked about that. I think the mythology is the analogy I would use instead.
Yeah,
because it's more like a religious experience. And I was, by the way, my birthday's 5/16/77, so I pretty much was born and raised. But if you think about it from that lens, and keep in mind, this is the first movie to use canon as a way of describing that which is real within the mythology of the film. We use that a lot now, but that was the first one outside of the Bible itself, the Christian Bible, I should say, to use that term canon. We borrowed that because it does that. And if you use your analogy instead of girlfriend, I'd say it's more like if you started going to church when you were very young, whichever religion you were in. And as you get older, you're like, that's fake. And you could get into something else, but you're never going to have that sort of like belief you had as a child of like, this is just so cool. You will later on find problems with it and nitpick it. But that feeling you get it will always be a part of you. Whether that be your Catholic guilt or whatever sort of things you learn from as part of your religion, right? And that's the feeling it has. Like, you can sit here and make fun of it, but it's like a younger sibling. I know now I'm mixing my metaphors,
I agree.
but you could love it and make fun of it at the same time.
When I say first girlfriend, I'm using that also as like kind of an analogy. It's like it's the first thing, it's the first kind of touchstone you have. And for me growing up, I wasn't exactly the most athletic kid in the world. I wasn't exactly the most.
Same.
Star Wars.
None of
to
us
me,
were. Yeah.
Yeah, but Star Wars to me was the thing.
I was literally a pro athlete, Cam. Thanks.
Oh.
Wow. Star Wars to me was something where I could watch and I could be like, I can do that if I just worked at it. If I worked at something, I could be better than everybody else.
I can be a Yoda.
That's the broader point. Is it didn't just bring together nerds; it did bring together jocks, nerds all over. People love that. It was a touchstone that you could now all of a sudden have a connection, a shared experience with people from all walks of life, from other countries. And that is the power of really great art. Which I know it sounds weird to call this that.
My best friends when I was in third grade when we met each other, my two best friends, Mike and Humphrey, we bonded over Star Wars because I remember Humphrey had just come over in second grade and I was like, do you like Star Wars? He's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, okay. And then my friend Mike got in with us and we were just like, okay. So, that's how we built, we all kind of like bonded over Star Wars and comic books and stuff like that. But it's like, and the thing always says, I remember when I was in high school, it was kind of unhip to like Star Wars.
It's true.
Because there were the kids
before
that were
the
like
track guys were uncool.
But I mean but that's the truth. I mean, there were the guys that loved it like me, who were like, we'd quote it, or we'd say something, and then then there was like, the guys were like, hey, what the hell are you talking about? And I was like, yeah, go tackle somebody.
Well, for me, when I was in high school, that's when the third one came out, and the Jedi, and it was made for little kids. So to be 16 and watching this little kids movie with the Ewoks, you're like, well, this is what happened. This is crap. Yeah.
Yeah, I was 10 years old when Star Wars came out. I remember that being the first movie that kind of really woke me up.
Oh,
and I, my mom and my dad had been divorced for like 4 or 5 years, but I my mom took me to see the movie, and then I went over to my dad's for the weekend, and my dad's like, have you seen the Star Wars movie yet? And I'm like, no, I haven't seen the Star Wars movie
what
yet.
the hell is the Star Wars?
So I got to see it a second time, and then I spent like a weekend at my grandmother's, and she's like, have you seen the Star Wars movie yet? No,
Wow.
I haven't seen it yet.
You're talking about Spaceballs. Stop it.
That's amazing.
Because
that's kind of the point, right?
Yeah.
It's united generations and stuff.
Yeah.
Dads are for it. They take you to movies over and over again. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What else are you going to do?
All right. Well, Cliff, it's been a delight, and you're welcome back anytime.
Thanks, Cliff.
All right, Cliff.
I saw it. I was 7 or 8 when they came out. We wanted to go to the pool. My dad's like, "Oh, there's this new movie. It's supposed to be like the serials I watched when I was a kid." And we dragged us this fucking film. We were furious. Everyone that we knew were at the pool, and right after the movie ended, we're like, "Dad is great." It was like he was the greatest guy ever.
Dad is great.
And we went out to school, and we had to like proselytize Star Wars because it just came out and no one knew. And then everyone would see it and be like, "This is the greatest thing I'd ever seen." And
My mother
like,
and her siblings saw it twice opening day, and we're like, we've never seen anything like it. Ever go back to the theaters twice?
we
did
had to
it.
wait in line too.
Yeah,
When you have a triple feature.
Yeah, it might as well have been. I asked my friend Jeff Goldblum what he thought of each trilogy. When he remarked on the original trilogy, he said, "Life finds a way." When I asked him about the prequels, he said, "Must go faster." And then I asked him about the Disney sequels, and he said, "That is one big pile of shit."
Well, I got to tell you, seeing that first prequel was very disappointing for me.
Yep.
I mean, it's a kid's movie, and I guess the go-kart racing thing was probably the interesting thing for them, but I hated it. Wow. And then also they threw in politics. I said, what kid's going to be interested in that?
You'd be surprised that
and actually,
pick up on a lot of shit.
Since I was already a Babylon 5 Star Trek guy, I was pretty into politics. So I was like, oh, it's the West Wing in space. We're going to see about Lee Organa.
Watching on Babylon 5
those shows,
or even Star Trek, it's far more interesting than they did on Star Wars.
Fair enough. Now they're doing it on Andor.
Oh God!
I'm gonna say this though. I can remember we're in the movie theater, and 20th Century Fox comes and you see Lucasfilm. You're like, for entire generations, this is the only way you can see Star Wars on the screen. But if you've only seen that, you haven't seen anything like it before. And that music hit, and the theater went ballistic. When the re-release, when the special edition was going to come out.
Yeah.
And then, if anybody remembers, they were going to do the prequel preview for episode 1, and what people were doing was they were going to see a certain movie, and then they would leave. So it was like Starship Troopers. They were putting it on that because that was, I think, a Fox movie, and Meet Joe Death.
Meet Joe Death. Don't you mean Meet Joe Black?
Meet Joe Black.
That's a great movie.
That's the one where Brad Pitt gets hit by 2 cars.
Yeah, and
Angelina Jolie is jealous.
Nah.
He got hit by Rick Ocasek and Elliot Easton.
Oh my God!
So that's why people were going in to see it, and then what happened was, there was that that disappointment of it. But now you look at it, that was like, okay, Star Wars fans, we were like, holy shit, there's going to be another one. There's going to be another one. And when Attack of the Clones came out, and
I love that movie.
Attack of the Clones is great. I like it.
But here's the funny thing. I hated it in the theater. But then, much like Return of the Jedi, it grew on me because that was the one that was on cable TV the most. So
yeah, that was my first Star Wars film in theaters because I didn't see Phantom Menace in theaters. I ended up buying that on DVD. I went to see Attack of the Clones with my friend William in 2002. I still have the original stub from June 1st, 2002.
Oh,
have you
Yeah.
seen the funny CNN interview from like 2002 where they reveal that title to Ewan McGregor and he's just making a mess out? He's like, "Oh bloody hell! Didn't know that was the name of the movie."
Yeah.
No, I didn't
Now,
see
really, if you want to think about it, Attack of the Clones could have applied to episode 7 because there was a direct rip-off of episode 4.
Right? Holy shit! I have heard that joke before. If you want to, you could rearrange the titles.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Well,
too.
here's the one that I always loved. If you remember before they rewrote the entire Star Wars thing, they said the Jedi fought the Mandalorians, and the Mandalorians were clones. And it was like,
Yeah.
okay, they kind of put that when Lucas said, okay, we're gonna rewrite it that the bounty hunters are, the clone troopers are a bounty hunter that's cloned. And the thing I loved about Attack of the Clones was the scene when he went on the planet and you saw them marching and doing all this. And you're
Yeah.
like, those are the stormtroopers that are going to come down the
Yep.
road. So it was like all of a sudden it's like it all makes sense now. How's
Yeah.
this going to end up?
There was a lot
And
of
that's the
Indiana
thing.
Jones adventure as well, and the asteroid fill is seen as a good way to test out your speakers.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You want to go deaf in a movie theater? Watch the
THX.
asteroid sketch.
I
The
almost
asteroid chase.
did. I used to have
Yeah.
that fucking toy. One key question though that sums up our love of this universe. If Yoda is such a wise alien who can
No.
predict so much evil in the world, why didn't he
Jesus.
just force choke Anakin on the spot then and there?
That's a valid question.
Yeah.
There's too many plot holes. It's like I needed
know.
just something like "You will not teach the boy," and then Obi-Wan teaches him outside the
I
council.
know.
That would have been better.
And then you want to have Darth Vader.
Yes, fucked up he
Your
is.
teaching license you do not have.
Yes.
English weird he does.
Fubar he is.
Well, why didn't Amidala go to jail for being a pedophile?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a funny little
boy.
They had
Is
2
her
years
name
to grow
Giselle?
up.
Is her name Giselle Amidala?
Giselle. More like Lolita Amidala. Okay.
No, that's the other way around.
Exactly.
God.
Mrs. Amidala, are you trying to seduce me?
The Graduate in space. And plus,
Here's to you,
why do-
Amidala. No.
and why do I have to read all these fucking encyclopedias just to figure out which background characters have to do with the bigger sum of everyone's parts?
I like the reference books. I do, but the
I
newer
do too,
ones
but
have
it's
been
not in the
fucking-
movie.
But the newer ones they keep putting out is just rehashed bullshit.
Yes,
It's
they
so
are.
fucking lazy. The worst one I've read was Star Wars Life Size, and it has that stupid tagline on it of "It's your favorite characters," and the book is like 30 something pages long, and it's all the handpicked characters, and I'm like, no, you shouldn't rename it our favorite characters,
Oh.
not yours.
30 pages of what?
It's a month's worth, but I gotta
Oh,
thank you, Adam,
Jesus.
for fucking delivering the goods, man. You set
Yeah.
us a new
You guys
high
were
bar.
Great. This is fun, and it's good to know that Zoom and Wi-Fi works in your mom's basement.
Ah! That is stupid. It's 30 pages. That's a month's worth.
I know.
Someone's got to go to DK Publishing and say, you know what? We're going to do every fucking movie you can think of, and all the movies, and we're going to put them in order, and we're going to give you every character that's in here, even a character you see 10 feet in the back, if they're in the Jedi Council. Do that shit. Because there's a lot of characters in there that
Yeah.
I thought were interesting.
There are a lot of interesting characters.
I love Plo Koon. I love Kit Fisto. I love who's the one with the horns.
They're like the talented guys on SNL who nobody uses.
Exactly.
I love what's the one with the tech, Shock T, who's been killed 5 times.
Yeah. Why do they keep trying to kill her? She hasn't had a moment to shine.
Shock T is the Kenny is like Kenny to South Park.
And
That's true.
And that is true.
For her death in Force Unleashed, it's the best one because it's honorable.
I think they should have included it in Return of the Sith. There was a deleted scene where they
Yeah.
capture her, and General Grievous is doing it to set an example. Instead, he's just got more cancer in him than Vader does in his later movies.
He sounds like Lucille Ball before she died. If you ever listen He coughs like Billy West doing Lucille Ball on the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
Why are you calling me? General Kenobi.
Sam, I feel like I need to say something. For some reason, I feel like I need to obey you.
Oh, it's the John Carpenter reference.
I see what you did.
They
Sam,
live, right?
Sam lives.
What are you,
Put on the
Grand
fucking
Inquisitor?
glasses. Anyway,
I have come here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
So good.
we're all out of force powers.
For real.
So
I Star Wars for me, it's like I never cared. I was never into it. I was born just after. I was born in 81, and it was everywhere. I grew up in Australia, and it was everything. And I just Smokey and the Bandit was the better movie of 77 for me.
Nice.
Oh, come on. I'm not going to rip on. Look, I love Star Wars, but I love Smokey and the Bandit because Smokey and the Bandit, to me, that's Gleason at his fucking best. And I'm sorry.
I gotta
put
say,
the Honeymooners.
And
I love the Honeymooners, dude.
you know,
The Honeymooners is great.
Burt Reynolds
with
would have
him-
been a better Han Solo, though. I gotta say.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm going to say about those Smokey and the Bandit movies, the one thing I like the most about them is their outtake reels at the end.
Oh yeah,
I
Hal Needham
remember
did that in
shit.
Cannonball Run at the tail end with Dom
Yeah.
DeLuise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Mr.
good.
Martin
I
laughed.
miss that shit with older films because you at
Jackie
the end
Chan's the last one, and then they stopped doing it.
That was the first time
Yeah.
I'd seen them do something like that.
that
Yeah, it
was,
was fun.
always cool because you could see they're like action and it's like fucked up like
And Star Wars
Cannonball
had
Run.
bloopers, but they kept them in.
The Cannonball Run bloopers are the best because they're probably 3 sheets to the wind doing those.
Oh,
scenes.
yeah.
oh yeah
So I'm going to take these bleeds. These bleeds.
These
Yes,
bleeds.
And then the
Stick 'em
one
up
thing I
this
love
nose.
watching Smokey and the Band is just Gleason just saying the shit to his son like,
Oh
like,
yeah,
hey, no way you came from my
my
loins.
lord.
Now when I get home, I'm gonna walk up to your mama and punch her right in the mouth.
Such a
My hat blew
gentleman.
off, Daddy. I wish your
I hope your
goddamn
head was in it.
Because when he's talking to the sheriff, says, "I don't think it's germane to the situation." The goddamn German's got nothing to do with it. And then he meets him, and he's a black guy. He's like, "Oh, you're Sheriff Taylor." "Yes, I'm Sheriff Taylor." "Oh, well, excuse me. Hey, boy, where's Sheriff Taylor?" "I am Sheriff Taylor." "Oh, well, you sounded much taller on the radio." Holy
Like,
Remember when
shit.
NBC aired it and they bleeped all the language out, and there's a segment where Gleason goes, "I don't like you talking that kind of language to my kid." And they didn't say anything.
Oh my
It was
god.
really weird. It played really
There's-
good.
It's
One
like
of the
the
worst-
TBS edit of Demolition Man. There's like, what did they give him a ticket for? He didn't say anything.
The worst one is in RoboCop. They actually he says freeze crumbag. Like they didn't even like say scumbag. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
This is like some edit. I was
Freeze,
like,
Crumbag.
Crumbag.
Idiot. What's idiot? What? What is
It's like
idiot?
it's like
I like
that
Tales
makes
from the Hood's edit. That was some funny shit. You're a bad maggot farmer. I'm like, who's a maggot farmer? Like what?
the one
Melon
I've always
farmer for
loved is-
Die Hard.
It's like,
Didn't it feel like they were kind of ad-libbing it?
oh, I think they
Yeah.
were.
Oh,
I think they
speaking
were.
of that, in
So
practice,
Star Wars should have been more high, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Everyone would have gotten along had they been high in those sets.
Yeah.
I gotta say, when it comes to attention getting, everybody's having to remind me who these 3 new characters are in the sequel trilogy. That's about as interesting as having to learn the name of that one shy douchebag at your friends' various parties who won't talk to anybody. If you can't stand out, you should probably keep to yourself and remain bland.
The only thing I know is that what's his face from Lost was one of the pilots.
Oh yeah,
Right.
That's
And he
good.
gets shot. He gets shot in the last movie. I'm like, fuck, dude. Why do you have to kill him off, man? I liked him in Heroes. He was cool,
Hold the mic. Who from Heroes is in Star Wars? Oscar Isaac wasn't on Lost or Heroes.
No. I'm saying he was in Heroes. The one pilot.
Oh, Greg Grunberg. Okay.
Oh
Greg
yeah,
Grunberg
Greg.
was in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
that
thing
was
that-
dumb.
And the thing I can't understand is how come they get all these ships out of nowhere?
I know. Like it's
You
so
gotta
weird.
build up to it. Don't pull a what's the second Marvel movie, Age of Ultron, where you can't go there. Well, I guess we'll come and rescue you, even though we just said
Can we
couldn't rescue you.
roast the MCU next time? Because
We
man,
will. We're
I-
doing it anyway.
Guys,
so-
I gotta go. I gotta
Alright.
get up.
not if I
tomorrow
go
morning.
first, Obi-Wan. Anyway, no. Thank you for
See you
being
later,
on here
JJ.
Thanks.
and bringing
Take
a
care,
bunch to it.
guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh,
It just makes you think more harder about the fans. Star Wars doesn't suck. The fans suck at making this a thing. George Lucas and Disney didn't ruin your lives. You ruined yourselves about caring about overrated icons and irrelevant fictional things.
And they're all fucking fictional, so fuck the OT.
Go kiss a girl, assholes. Anyway.
No, they gotta kiss their brothers.
They learned it from Luke and Leia. Oh.
Well, you know, and then Amidala and Anakin. There's that creepy relationship between those two.
No. You got to call him by his real name, Mannequin.
Mannequin. An Anakin. Oh, you didn't see that meme? Oh, I love that one so much.
I've seen that, I'm sure.
Bananakin.
Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, what can we say, gang?
I mean, if it weren't for Star Wars, I wouldn't have my fanfic. And I wouldn't be so talented with my writing. And with that, it really did help me heal a lot.
Oh yeah, I saw a thing that Cam put up of you doing a poetry reading or something.
Yes.
And I got to see what you look like for the first time.
I know. Ain't I ugly?
Oh, stop.
Awesome. You were awesome.
Oh, my God. That motherfucking heckler.
Hey, no, Sam, I'm really digging the Outer Reels. You guys are going into some very obscure, just underground cinema. Where can people follow you outside of Instagram? You know,
we have a website, of course, the Outer Reels, and we have TikTok, but my co-host Jason doesn't do shit with it. So Instagram's the only place you can follow us, or go to our website.
Well, and you're just a delight because, like, you're just saying how is like people can't even tell what's a B movie anymore or what's a lowbrow franchise. People are still going to argue about it in terms of shreds.
I'll tell you a movie not to see because it was a B movie. I almost consider it less than that. But the Dave Bautista movie where I can't even remember.
Oh, the Sam Jackson piece of shit one that just came out. Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't seen it either.
Oh,
I hated it.
We try and stay like, 60s, 70s, 80s if we have to, but most of the stuff's older.
That's kind of where the fun B movies are at.
So, Mike, you're kind of the ultimate decision maker. You still don't care for Star Wars, and yet you can tolerate it when it's on in the background. Does it suck or not?
I don't. I'm revisiting these, and it's. I can see why it holds up, but the fandom has gotten really strange. I did have a question.
So the fans ruined it. Perfect.
Yeah. I was kind of hard on Star Wars. I can.
It's got bullshit in it. There's no denying that.
Yeah, that's true.
All 9 of them. I can enjoy them.
Well, 12 total, and then the shows make it 20 or so.
That's true. Yeah, that's right. You're right. I got that. I do have a question. I've seen it. Is it Solo?
Yeah, that's the prequel.
Okay, in that movie, does he make the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs?
Yeah.
The box office suggests otherwise.
Okay.
Oh,
no, I wondered. I did see Solo, but now I'm wondering: did I miss a joke where they said something about the 12 parsecs?
I think they do.
Yeah.
Line again today. I'm going. Okay, well, how many qubits were involved? It comes up again.
And that's the problem. From a screenwriting perspective, the science sucks. It does not make sense. It's like the free moons in the Riddick movies. You're like, you can't. It's a plot hole you have to look past because otherwise it just won't work. But the minute I heard them announcing a Solo movie, I was like, okay, that's going to be worse than the midichlorians reveal. You're going to kill the suspense because I love not knowing if Han Solo is bullshitting or not. I like that to be a mystery.
Yeah. Right. The worst thing about Solo is that the whole gag where the Millennium Falcon looks different because it has that cargo hold in the front, like the classic hull, right? And then at the very end, they unload it and it flies off, and everybody's like, oh, like the whole reason of that is because you just had episode 8 come out, which was terrible. And then they released the Millennium Falcon or whatever for 7. And then the toys are on the shelf at the same time. Yeah. And then marketing is just like, we can't sell the same Millennium Falcon to the kids. So as parents won't buy it. We need to make it different. And that whole reason, and people and fans are crazy. And they're like, this is awesome. Now we know why it looks like that. And you're like, no, they just had to ship 100,000 of these things off the warehouse.
Yeah,
but the other problem with it was
just
that
create aliens. Don't create a new, different kind of ship. Don't do it. Yeah.
The main problem with Solo.
They bring back Darth Maul in that too.
Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense.
A hologram.
Or is it before he dies?
No, he's got robot legs.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen the cartoon, it doesn't make any sense. I knew so many who hadn't seen those cartoons. You're like, what's he doing there? It doesn't serve the plot at all.
Ruined Solo was its release date. I get they were going for the original release of Star Wars. I get that. But everybody before that was so used to Star Wars at Christmas. So having it in May was like, huh?
Yeah.
And people just it didn't click for them. They're like, oh, why is this not in December? Why is it in May? I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But yeah. And whatever else came out during that time frame killed it too.
Yeah.
It sounds silly, but it's like it's hard to get excited when you don't see that Fox logo too. Like it's such a small thing. You know you're in for a different treat. Yeah.
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 And people got mad because there wasn't no title crawl. I'm like, okay, so what?
It's
They
not
don't
going to
want-
save The Last Jedi.
It
Yo,
was just to say Han shot first.
you're right.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
I had one more question. This is the original print
DVD. Yeah.
DVD. I bought years ago. I bought the DVD with the new editions and the originals on 2 separate discs.
That's what I have that, but I thought it was like in the same disc. But
can you still get that? Can you stream the originals anymore?
No, unfortunately not. But
I
think you can get a Blu-ray of it somewhere. The original.
Probably YouTube.
If this stops recording, goes live, I can tell you where I can give you.
Okay. Yeah.
hookup.
I will. But it's been great having you. Bye-bye.